The B-21 Raider will be standing by to convey America's commitment. They are supplying modern aircraft to America's warfighters with a combination of range, payload, and survivability. The B-21 Raider will be capable of breaching the most formidable defenses and delivering precision strikes anywhere in the world. The B-21 Raider is the future backbone of the U.S. Air Force, leading a formidable family of technologies that bring a new era of capability and flexibility through improved data, sensor, and weapon integration. The B-21 can grow fast through rapid technology upgrades that enable new capabilities to beat future threats. It will allow the United States Air Force to deter or eliminate threats anywhere in the world, said Tom Jones, the corporate vice president and president of Northrop Grumman Aeronautics Systems. Northrop Grumman is a technology firm specializing in global security and human exploration. How is this B-21 Raider superior to any war weapon that Russia or China has? It took a technologically adept nation, having the largest economy in the world, 34 years to unveil a new bomber after it had been in production. In 1988, the world was introduced to the B-2, which is currently the operational strategic bomber. On December 2, 2022, B-21 Raider was unveiled to the public for the first time. According to the most recent estimates, the B-21 program will rack up a staggering expenditure of $203 billion for 30 years. Midway through the year 2023, the first B-21 flight is expected to take place, presuming that all system evaluations and ground tests go off without a hitch. For the next half-century, the United States Air Force's strategic bomber force will consist entirely of B-52s and B-21s. The B-21 has been referred to as an aircraft of the sixth generation. B-21 bomber is very much capable of destroying. Regarding capacity and quantity, China and Russia do not possess any bombers that can compete with the United States Air Force. Compared to the United States Air Force's bomber fleet, the Chinese H-6 and the futuristic H-20 will have additional firepower or range. The Russian Tu-95 is the same in this regard. The nuclear triad is only complete with strategic bombers, among its most essential components. The B-21 will likely be able to drop atomic weapons on several targets within the course of a single mission. The stealth characteristics of the B-21 will enable it to breach target defenses without being identified and threatened, allowing it to avoid being intercepted by robust, ground-based air defense systems. We're glad to know that this knowledge is keeping you interested. You're a fan of such weapon information. We attempted to collect all these unique studies and would appreciate it if you could subscribe to our channel and click the like button. The flight testing of the B-21 will be arduous and time-consuming, and it will be a few years before the B-21 can join an operational unit of the U.S. Air Force. To begin, B-21 has been assigned the designation of T-1. The construction of the remaining 5 B-21s is currently taking place in Palmdale, in Air Force Plant 42. The B-21 prototype has already been put through a grueling test regimen. The timing of the first flight will be determined by how well the upcoming ground testing goes and how far they proceed. The Edwards Air Force facility is going to be the location of the flight testing that will be done. In contrast to most other aircraft, in which prototype aircraft are significantly distinct from production aircraft, the first B-21 will be similar to a production aircraft due to the high cost of developing it. Additionally, the flight test timeline will be shortened, which will lead to the aircraft being put into service more rapidly. What is the road ahead of B-21? The development of the B-21 has been made possible thanks to the direct and personal engagement of Frank Kendall, the Secretary of the Air Force. He made sure that there was enough money in the budget and pushed for the United States Air Force to acquire 145 more planes. The history of Frank Kendall is instructive in illustrating how the exposure and experience of decision-makers directly influence the state of the nation's security. The Department of Defense's acquisition, technology, and logistics were under Frank Kendall's supervision. the United States Air Force's strategic bomber fleet will likely consist of 220 aircraft, with 145 B-21s and 75 B-52s making up the total. The existing 21 B-2s and B-1s will be parked in the graveyard of the United States Air Force. On the other hand, the B-21 will become the primary weapon of the United States Air Force's strategic bomber force until the turn of the century. As of right now, no strategic bomber produced by China or Russia will ever be able to equal the performance of the not yet operationalized B-21. The B-2, the current strategic bomber used by the United States Air Force, has superior performance and capabilities compared to any other bomber. However, the B-21 Raider won't be able to take part in a raid for at least another 5 years, which puts the date at 2027. The testing process for such complicated machinery is excruciatingly and agonizingly slow. A few observations regarding the design of windows have already been made. Test pilots will need several months to complete ground trials and flying flights involving spin before they can approve. Now, as we conclude, the United States Air Force is in dire need of some new bombers. The B-1B Lancer and the B-2A Spirit are nearing the end of their lives. Northrop Grumman is currently developing a new stealth bomber called the B-21 Raider, intending to replace the B-1B Lancer and the B-2A Spirit as the United States' primary bomber. Thomas Donano, an adjunct fellow at the Hudson Institute, said, "Since the introduction of the B-2, our adversaries' defenses have significantly grown. The Chinese and Russian air defense systems, the S-400 and the S-500, have a lot of capabilities and present a significant threat. As a result, keeping up with technological advances in stealth capabilities is essential." Digital design, specific criteria from the Air Force, and Northrop Grumman's prior expertise in the fielding of a stealthy flying wing are some of the reasons why the program appears to be on track and on budget. The B-21 looks exactly like the B-2, said Doug Young, the Vice President and General Manager of the Strike Division at Northrop Grumman. The reason for this is because the fundamentals of stealth and long-range penetrating air are built around the concept of a flying wing. This extends back to the YB-49 aircraft, when Jack Northrop created some of the earliest flying wings. We hope you are now aware of the new B-21 bomber. If you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for constant updates like these. Also, do tell us how it went, and please give us recommendations. We would love to know what our audience has on their mind. Thank you for watching. We'll be back soon.